So we're going to start off with Drew. I'm glad that your divorce was unsealed because your kids need to know that you're a lesbian. They need to know flat out you're a lesbian. They deserve the truth. I don't care that your mother's a pastor, and neither do your children. The truth is the most important thing, and that's something that you have a real funny relationship with. So that's why God, in her divine nature, has put your business in the street. Not just on this show, but on Basketball Wives as well. Everybody know you a lady hoe. So let's stop faking, let's stop fronting, let's stop lying. I don't give a crap if Ralph cheated on you. Once you start cheating on your partner with a different sex, all bets are off. That's why Mauricio out here getting photographed kissing all these other women, because I'm sorry, you started it, Kyle. You started it. So let's not get new. He found out that you was an undercover lesbian, and that's why you married him and got pregnant so damn fast, because she was trying to get away from her Sappho spirit. You want to talk about a Delilah spirit, you've got a Sappho spirit. You tried to push out some kids so you could say, oh, I'm not a lesbian. Yes, you are. And ain't nothing wrong with being a lesbian. Be proud. But don't lie about it, because you're going to give your kids a complex. Believe me, they know what is going on. You are going to give them a complex. If I'm going to talk about Mia's poor mothering, I have to talk about yours. That's why we don't want Mia on the show. I don't want to see what other damage she's going to bring her kids just for a paycheck. And also, can we call out Portia for that fake crying with Angela Oakley last week? Not a tear was shed. She was trying to keep from busting out laughing because her friendship with Shamia is a joke. Now, I think Shamia actually cares about Portia, but girl, Portia don't give a shit about nobody but the next dollar. So we open with Angela and Charles, and she's upset with her family for not treating her daughter right, and Charles said, cut him off. Across town with Cynthia, she goes to lunch with Shamina. Shamia's upset that Portia decided to put their friendship on Front Street for the show rather than talk in private. You know your friend is a scamming, lazy, man-stealing hussy. You really thought you were immune to her piss-poor treatment? You really didn't think she'd give you a good jawing in the John? Then Shamia, you're stupider than your outfits make you look. And they don't make you look bright. This just makes you look uncomfortable. Breasts aren't supposed to have angles right here. Why your titties got angles? I can get a push-up bra, but come on now, you ain't got to push them up and back. So she said the conversations I've had with the girls have gotten back to Portia in a weird way. You were talking behind Portia's back, and they brought it to Portia with the same energy, and you were just mad because you didn't tell Portia your damn self because you're scared, because Portia will jaw you in the John. So everybody in the group sees Portia don't fuck with Shamia, but Shamia's still trying to ride for that heifer. And now we cut to clips of everybody talking about Portia throwing shade on Shamia's single. Cynthia said, well, I know something about lopsided friendships, child, because when I was at my lowest with one of the ladies in the group, I just gave her love, child, just gave her love, and took a job. Well, you didn't take a job. Nene threw hers away. Cynthia said that her breakup with Nene was one of the hardest things she had to go through. I'm sure, because breaking up with Mike Hill just seemed like a plot line that had ended, and breaking up with Peter, you got your money back. Ooh, so now Shamia brings up the fact that Diane be saying little slick shit about Shamia, like don't trust her and all that, which is the truth. We have her on camera saying that. So again, Diane started it, but Portia wants to post, don't talk about my mom. Your mom ain't nothing worth talking about. Cynthia gonna say, I'd love to have a Portia Shamia relationship with someone. You just said you did with Nene, and it didn't work. Coming up next. Don't ever have Britt Eady do the interstitials. Britt's going to Napa Valley, and I am happy. Stay there. Stay there. Become a real housewife of Napa so we don't have to look at you. Shamia's coming out with her single, but Portia's not going to be a part of it. Well, Portia's unsupportive. You should be used to that by now. But across town, Cynthia, Angela, and Portia go bowling. Oh! Portia finally realizes that her working is affecting her daughter. We have a Mia alert. we have a Mia alert. And not just her working, but, her introducing her to another father, then throwing him out of the house. Then he gets arrested by ICE. And then she realized she never really knew him or knew his name or knew what number wife she was. I feel sad that this is Pilar's example of what a woman should be. Because Diane gave Portia a piss poor example of what a woman should be. And look at how misguided Portia is. So maybe Portia will be so misguided that Pilar will be able to see through her ways. And also she'll see Dennis. And Dennis will probably bring around a woman of substance that Pilar can pattern herself after, since she doesn't have any women of substance on her mother's side. Well, perhaps Auntie Lauren. But then again, Lauren has children by a do-nothing man, so I don't know. The fact that you also are consistently lying to her and telling her, oh, he's working. So you're normalizing her believing that men can just come in your life and then leave because they're working and not talk to you for months on end. You're normalizing that for her. You're normalizing poor treatment in front of her eyes. You need to tell her he ain't coming back. Because he ain't coming back. But you will see him on TV talking cash money shit about your mother. Also, you're going to say, I texted him and he left us on red because he's in prison. He doesn't have a phone in prison. He doesn't have a way to receive text in prison. We're not Pilar. You can't lie to us. You can lie to her. You can't lie to us. He wakes up every day thinking about ways to wreck my life or whatever. Why don't you let go of that house and the divorce settlement? Why don't you do that? Because you're trying to wreck his life financially. You was only married for 10 minutes. Now you're trying to get $3 million of equity. You ain't worth that. You ain't worth a plug nickel, heifer. Please stop saying we had a real family. You didn't. You thrust that man upon your daughter so you could get up under his millions. Because you're lazy and unseemly. Quiet as is kept, he probably started pulling away from your ass in the marriage the second that grandmother almost got hit with the light pole. When he saw that, he was like, nah, I ain't gonna let you crack my mama's skull open. I gotta get up out of this. You're violent. You're mean and violent. So Portia says that because of the divorce, she's not mentally strong enough to deal with her friendship issues with Shamia. You've been friends with Shamia for like 20 years. You've known this guy you were quote unquote married to for 20 minutes. And he had another woman's pussy on his breath half the time you was dealing with him. So I want to know, why does he, a man who's ignoring your child, get more of what little mental capacity you have than your friend of 20 years? Because she wasn't a meal ticket? Is that why? In the car with Drew, she's on the phone with her lifestyle stifling mother. Drew says Ralph does well, but they have separate accounts, so she don't know what he's making, but he's coming after her businesses. I have no sympathy for someone who also married someone you didn't know. 3 months. You was trying to prove you wasn't a lesbian, and this is what you get. Live your lesbian life, child. Tell your mama to get the fuck over it. Ralph doesn't know what he's doing to the children. You don't know what you're doing to the children, lying about your lesbonics, sneaking around with Ty. You cheated on your husband with a whole lesbian, with a strong stem. You didn't give a crap about what you was doing to the kids then. That's why Ralph has Floridian secrets. Because he's embarrassed that you cheated on him with a woman. So if you didn't think about the kids when you was getting your les on, that's why he ain't thinking about them now. And also, neither one of you thought about these kids when you married somebody that you didn't know after 3 months and got pregnant after 8. Y'all wasn't thinking about them kids. So girl, boom. This is the problem. In our community, we look at children as an accessory, and we only say think of the kids when somebody else ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. But when we're doing our dirt, I don't want to hear about that. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Angela mama come over, and Angela mama ain't shit. She tried to buy her and her sister a house, but apparently some shit went down and she had to put them out. However, her mama said, yeah, one day he said you needed to clean up and I was going to walk up on him, although we almost the same damn age. Difference between you and Charles Oakley is Charles Oakley grew up. You just got old. It's a fine line, marked with wisdom on one side and ignorance on the other. So Drew has her mama come to visit, and she says, I think if he loved you as the mother of his children, he wouldn't be trying to get your coin in court. Here is the thing. Ralph feels that Drew married him to get on Housewives of Atlanta. He believes she used this relationship to get on Housewives of Atlanta, to get the lesbian-proof child, and she's used Ralph, and now she wants to throw him away. And he says, oh no, I'm going to get a few shekels out of this too. Since I'm your beard, or I guess your skirt in this case, I'm going to be paid accordingly. And I'm sorry, if I was Ralph and I looked back at this relationship, I would definitely say, I think you were trying to find a father for your first child, and that's why, you might have been pushing that adoption. I think that being on Housewives was always in the back of your mind, and this was just your way to get in by actually becoming a wife. And then you went on and had another child with me because you wanted a free sperm donor. I could see him thinking all of these things. Is he wrong? Well, that's something for him to figure out. That ain't my life. But the fact that, y'all got married within 15 minutes, you both clearly had agendas. Now, did he have an agenda too? Absolutely. But I think he and his lawyer are like, nah, this heifer slick. Child, the kids are out of control because one, they're at that age, and two, they can tell something's going on in the house. But they don't have the money to live separately. I don't think you understand how much rent is these days. Ralph can't go get $1,000 a month apartment in Atlanta. He'd be spending $2,500 a month, which guess what? That means Drew would be spending an extra $2,500 a month. Drew, if she wanted to, she could have put his ass in an apartment. But she wants to keep her Tubi checks to himself, and we don't even know what Ralph is making. That's because you married him knowing him for 5 minutes. You pulled a Porsche, and now a Porsche's pulling you. Why did Shamia wear my Bridgerton shirt to her luncheon with Portia? I mean, down to the belled sleeve. You know what? It is a cute shirt, though, so I can see why I inspired one of her good fashion choices. Girl. So Portia already answering FaceTime calls at this sit down, and we can see Shamina ain't feeling it. But Shamia, you gotta understand, Portia don't care no more. So Shamia starts off with an apology in her Bridgerton shirt for not being as open as she should have been over the years. No, apologize for running and telling that to the ops. And Portia says, well, you have been talking about things with other people, so that's how it got to me. Shamia says, well, look, I'm not a then and there friend. I sit back, act like it's cool, but I'm really pissed. Portia, you'll just haul off and chaw somebody in the joint. So moving forward, I'd like to... Are you tired? She's tired of this friendship. I'm taking a breath. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Well, I'm here to possibly salvage our friendship. Possibly? Yes, Portia, possibly. Like how Simon was possibly going to take care of you. It was possible, but it didn't pan out. Then you bring to me that your mama don't trust me. How do you think that makes me feel? Well, I didn't say it. I said what she said. Yeah, and she was a messy bitch for saying it. Now we get into the real. I just want to be how we are, off camera, on camera. Ooh, but you said they'd have to pay me more money for that. Why can't you just be real? I need you to be my friend and not come at me for something that happened 10 years ago. Because I'd never do that to you. Yeah, you'd whoop her ass on sight. But adults sometimes have to work through things, but you wouldn't know anything about being an adult, would you? No, of course not. This is what happens when the brain stops developing at 16. This is scary that this show has caused you to sit here. Girl, this heifer said we got some issues in our friendship. Let's air it out. And you don't want to air it out. Lift your leg and air it out. Let the air get up in there. I want the portion that's not on camera. This is a lot, Shamia. Please stop. Portia, what are you going through? You can't be upset that that meal ticket you conned didn't work out. That husband you stole didn't work out. You can't be surprised you was only married for 15 minutes. Dennis is still around. You want to act like you so upset with him filming with you, but child, that's the only thing that gave you a plot line for the first 9 episodes of the season. So again, we got you here with this, oh, I'm gonna cry, but you ain't got no tears, heifer. You ain't got no tears. This heifer run to the bathroom. Portia, this isn't working. I'm glad this is showing what a piece of shit she is. But we been knew after that special, when she tried to hit Pilar's grandmother in the head with a damn light pole. She come back and say, you want to get the food to go? Shamia said, well, I hate that you couldn't finish your food and we're leaving without resolve. Because all you had to say was, okay, girl, I was pissed that you was getting married. I was jealous. I was in my feelings. Like, admit it. Oh, you can't admit it because your latest meal ticket didn't work out? Is that it? So Shamia telling her, look, I thought we was done because you went in the bathroom crying, and then she starts playing with the silverware. And then she says, what can I do? Well, when I'm pouring my heart out to you, maybe don't say stop and actually listen. Got it. Check. Will do. Child, this is over. I don't want to break up with you, Shamia. I don't want this for us. I'm sorry, okay? But you're not dealing with the actual issues. What are you apologizing for? You just don't want to lose your friend because of the show? Portia, this is some piss poor acting. Girl, Portia hugging her with this shit-eating grin. Heifer, that ain't none of your friend. Not with that shit-eating grin. Shamia, what are these pants? What in the apple-bottom medieval jeans are these? Oh, God. The spirit of Candy Burris. Portia said, I just hope we can get back to a better place and move on. Move on to lack of accountability lane, where you like to live. All right, well, that was the shit. So I'm going to see you soon for something.